thing. You were just
I'm
giving me
saying
example.
I don't see them.
Yes.
I went to Graaff-Reinet.
Yes. Thank you. Let's go there.
Now, that town,
You made a lot of people angry there.
that town is almost 100% owned by Anton Rupert. He came there in 1976 and invested a lot of money in the town. Ne?
Yeah.
Now, but that town remains one of the poorest towns with a huge potential.
Before we do that, I wanted, in fact, let's talk about Grahamstown Makhanda. Were you involved in Grahamstown Makhanda?
I was involved in Grahamstown Makhanda. I was involved in Gqeberha. I was involved in Bombela. I'm now involved in the controversial Graaff-Reinet.
Let's talk about Makhanda.
Yeah.
What were the specific problems there?
One, there was a group called KGG, Cape Grahamstown, which did not want the name to change. And understand, if they agree to the name change, it would have meant that their name would change, because they are called Cape Grahamstown. But they then called one old man there, African old man, Mr. Ngcobo. If you check out the court case, they made Ngcobo to be the applicant to oppose the name change. I met the old man, he knows nothing, he has got no clue of what was happening. Well, that's unfortunate. Two things. One of the arguments that they wanted to advance was that why change the name Grahamstown to Makhanda when the municipality is Makana? Ne? And the response was a very simple one. Makana is an adulteration of the name Makhanda. There's no Makana. So it was wrong in the first place to name the municipality Makana when the correct name of the person was Makhanda. Okay? But the other reasons were very flimsy. It's a tourism destination, wara.
Typical one everywhere.
Ne?
Yeah.
And I asked the question, do people go to a name or go to a destination? Right, let me give you an example. When Peking changed to Beijing, it did not stop people from going to China. When Bombay changed to Mumbai, it did not stop people from going to India.
Istanbul has changed many times.
Yeah, so it's not that people go to a name, they go to a destination. No? But there's one question that people always bring about. Why don't you take the money that you are wasting in renaming and use it on patching potholes on the...
That's so disrespectful.
No?
That's so disrespectful.
And I say, okay, first and foremost, each department has got its own budget. The money that is budgeted for potholes, it will die if it's not patching up potholes. But I asked, everyone was that question. When you change a name, how much is spent?
And I like the way you unpack it in terms of giving them 24 months and stuff.
Yeah.
Please unpack it for us.
Look, if you say you are going to incur coincidental expenses by changing your letterheads or business cards, if you run a company, the last time you printed your letterheads was more than 2 years ago, you are not running a company. Close shop. Because your letterheads must have finished somewhere in the 2 years. So when you go for reprint, you just tell your printer to change the address. You've got 2 years to keep the old business cards and the old, letterheads. You are from Pretoria. When we changed Walker Street to Justice Mohammed, before even the 2 years passed, many companies in that street had even changed their names to Justice Mohammed. If you go to Pretoria today, you walk in the streets of Pretoria, and I'm using the name Pretoria deliberately. Nah?
Yes.
You won't find even one single shop called Pretoria something. It's Tshwane dry cleaners, Tshwane printers. So, sorry, you get overtaken by events whilst you are busy pussyfooting on whether to change a name or not. The name of Pretoria hasn't changed. What we have now is that Pretoria is a suburb, starting at Skaden, ending in Boom, starting at Hoshimampuru, ending at Idutywa. That's your Pretoria. The rest is Tshwane.
The whole municipality is Tshwane.
The whole municipality is Tshwane. So you get overtaken by events. But when it came to these things, they don't want to appreciate one thing. We cannot continue to own butchers. If you know what Colonel Graham did to the people, if you go to Makhanda today, there's no village of indigenous people around that area. Because Graham exterminated them. He killed women and children. There's no village around Makhanda today. And it's a fact. You understand? Now, when we name and rename, what are we doing? One is the question of reparation. And we are driven by three things: promotion, preservation, and restoration. We want to preserve the history of a people. We want to restore lost dignity and promote the existence of certain nationalities within South Africa. I tell people that my parents are from a village called Mamone. Ask anyone who speaks to Sepedi, what does Mamone mean? That word has got no meaning in Sepedi. Nothing. It's just a name. And yet this is the seat of Hoshimampuru. You understand? Because we are afraid to call the place Marute. When historically the seat of the Bapedi kingdom is Marute. And you go further, when you go on the map says Vergelegen and Oorgelegen. Two farms.
Yes.
Now, we don't want to change that because we are afraid. We say business will go away. No, it will not. So, the issue of naming and renaming is very emotive.
Of course.
I went to Graaff-Reinet. The first meeting, you could pack and go and say the people of Graaff-Reinet don't want the name change. The last meeting, you'd be shocked and say, am I still in Graaff-Reinet? All the people in that hall in Masizake wanted the name change. And you look at the whole thing, it's polarization of the South African population. The first meeting was in a predominantly white area. The last meeting was in a predominantly black area. Now, it is unfortunate that we begin to see things through the glass of color, when we should be seeing things for what they are. When we changed the airport of what was then Port Elizabeth to David Stearman, I was so happy because we were honoring a Khoisan chief who was incarcerated on Robben Island twice and ultimately was exiled in Australia. He died in Australia, and where he was buried, they built a railway station.
Ish.
So you can't get these remains because you have to dig up the whole railway station.
Ish.
My great-great-grandfather, Kgoshi Mampuru, was hanged here in Tyre, in Fisagi Street. Even today, we don't know where his remains were buried. Even today.
Ish.
Now, these are the things that when we do naming and renaming, we need to restore the dignity of the people. I'm proud when I realized that the prison that incarcerated him, he has conquered, is named after him, included in the street that passes before that prison. This place that incarcerated Tate Mogolwaka, my dignity. When I go home, right in front of the kraal, there's a statue of the old man.
If gona le motho ba reng ke Kgoshi Tshwane,
if gona le Kgoshi Tshwane, if I'm going to give you two things. Kgoshi ina le setšhaba. Kgoshi can disappear, but setšhaba will remain. The question is, setšhaba sa monno se kae? Se kae? If you ask me setšhaba sa Mampuru se kae, I will show you 20,000 hectares of land. Ke re batho ba Mampuru shiba. All right? That's the first thing. Whatever appears to be the history of Kgoshi Tshwane, it says ke ngwana wa Kgoshi Musi, kore ke ngwana wa Kgoshi ya Matebele. But of bana ba Kgoshi Musi, a hona le one o beng a bitswa Tshwane. You've got Manala, you've got Mapokgo, you've got Mokgwaduba, you've got Ngwane, you've got Sibasa, you've got Masumbuka, ne? Bana ba Mkhalabola. None of them is called Tshwane. So which Musi was he son of? Ne? Now, what is the name? Is it Tshwane?
Tshwane.
In my language, Kaspedi, Renale Tshwane, who ended up Alewe Swatini. Afrika Swatini Barike Zwane. Arna Tshwane. And the Kgoshi di a ipelega. Mampuru o bela ga Malekutu. Malekutu o bela ga Mampuru. Mampuru a bela ga Malekutu. Malekutu a bela ga Mampuru. Ka direto ke ngwato ke bauba ke ngwato ke bauba ke ngwato ke bauba. If a person comes up ka sereto se seng bauba or ngwato, a re ke ena Kgoshi ya Bapedi or a emanyana. Kgoshi ya Bapedi either Serato ke ngwato goba ke bauba because ba ipelega. Ne? So ke o mongwe tla ka Serato se sengwe o tsebe gore o swaretše a se kgoši.
Okay. Can I problem le there's a man on a horse go Union Building and there are statues all over the city of Pretoria. Kruger amongst them. Those statues are symbols of conquest. Those people are still celebrating conquering us. Now, whether we replace them or not, but are we reading Chije, re-emeje, gore re tla nagana gore ntšha ka mang. Re ka se re ka gore a rena replacement a dibedi duty.
Okay.
So nna ke le Mashiane so ge ke nyoko lengwalela gore ke gopela gore ke suggesting to ke ya mo lena ke ya ko DA ke ya ko where do I start as a common man on the street?
You go to South African Heritage Resources Agency, SARA.
Okay.
SAHRA. They're the ones who deal with statues. But let me say something very controversial. Once there was a huge debate about the removal of the statue Sapol Kruger. I advocated that rather than remove that statue where it is, bring in Sakhoshi Mampuru.
Proper?
The reason this man hanged Kgoshi Mampuru. So I wanted them to complete their narrative. Because I'm saying these statues that we see all over are statues of antagonists. We need to bring in the same space the statues of protagonists. You raise something very, very interesting. A man on horseback. Many people are not aware of what that represents. In particular, the role that the horse plays. During what is now called the South African War, formerly known as Anglo-Boer War, when the Afrikaners fought the British, they were able to hold their fort against the British because they were better horsemen. They would ride in the horses, on the horses into the camp of the British, bombard it and go out. That's where now the respect for them of a horse came from. When you read somewhere in the history, they will tell you about this horse, Somerset. This is the horse that William King, who is commonly known as Der King, rode from Port Natal, which today is called Durban, to Cape Town to go and warn the Boers there that the British were coming. You'll find a statue of their king and the horse. But there was another person during that long trip, a trip that they say would normally take you 10 days on horseback. This man completed in 7 days. Okay? Let's say that is accurate. We don't argue that. But what they don't tell us is that there was a 16-year-old boy who ran along this horse. This 16-year-old would run ahead of the horse and their king to go and check the coast and come back and say, it's clear, we can go. So it means he ran that trip 3 times in 7 days. The horse is prided of galloping the trip in 7 days.
Is given credit, but he had rest.
Yes. This boy did not have rest. He was running ahead. He'll come back. He'll cover the same distance again. So he'll cover the same distance thrice. And when you read, wherever something is said about him, they say their king left him at Pondoland. Now, Pondoland meant anything from KZN to Cape Town. Saying he was left in Pondoland doesn't say anything. But interestingly, when their king came back, in reward, they gave him a farm in Ispingo, a sugarcane farm in Ispingo. Who was the person who worked there? Is this same young boy. But his name is mentioned nowhere in history.
Who is this boy?
His name is Ndongeni Kakoki.
Kakoki.
Yes. There's not even one single statue built to commemorate him. And if you go to Port Shepstone, you will find the statue of Theophilus Shepstone standing there imposing. And not very far, you will find a caricature, which they say is the statue of Qecwayo, almost begging this old man, this white man. Now, what pains me is that those of us who want to transform this society and bring about redress and restore the dignity of the people are said to be wasting money, man, that the machine. Ne?
Yeah.
People would rather see with this, sit with these things. Ne? A person would rather atsamaye ko Landros Mare in Polokwane.
Jackpot's Hall.
He doesn't ask himself, who is this Landros Mare? This is the same Landros is magistrate.
Okay.
Magistrate Mare. That's what Landros Mare is.
Okay.
But that magistrate is the one who sentenced Hoshimaraba to death.
Ki hero ya bona.
Ki hero ya bona. But batho ba ga Maraba o tlisa Landros Mare with pride, with a smile on the face.
The same people in Mamelodi who still call Solomon Mahlangu Drive with that other name.
Yes. I'll tell you a very interesting story. People might not be aware of. Mamelodi. Who is Mamelodi?
No idea. Ke tseba sereto sa tshwane ya Mamelodi.
Why that? Sengwele ke kgomedi ya lekgothwane. Tshwana Mamelodi, Patogeng ya Thaba, Chamagale. Yes. I attended the lower primary at a school called Patoge because it was at the foot of the mountain. Patoga is the foot of the mountain. Mamelodi ke Paul Kruger.
That's his name.
That's his nickname because he moved around whistling.
Mamilo. Okay. So he would whistle.
And they called him Mamelodi.
Eish. So Erikasi Makasi, we are actually.
We are not even aware retiring.
But
Maashma, Sosha, Soto Shangani Nguni Venda.
yes.
Why would I want to stay in an area that is called Soto Shangani Nguni Venda? Soshanguve.
Le Ashmagi.
Le Ashmaki. We're at Richville.
Yes.
Nah?
Now,
when you look at when was Atteridgeville established as a township, it's 1939. But as you enter, you'll see there's a bridge, Mola. Look at when was that bridge erected, and ask yourself, why was this bridge erected before Atteridgeville was established? It will tell you there were people who were staying there before it was established as a township. People settle first, and then the place gets. At one stage, my family stayed in what was called Moeplas.
Before Yako, Pelindaba King.
Yeah, Pelindaba. What happened was that people were being removed from Moeplas to what is today called Atteridgeville.
So what Pelindaba?
Yeah, they were resisting to be removed from Moeplas. So when they arrived there, Yabara, ya Pelindaba. Sesfikile, seslala manje.
So Atteridgeville?
Yeah?
Atteridgeville?
Atteridgeville is the place, the name which was given to that place by the City Council of Pretoria in honor of Miss Attridge, who was a councillor.
Who is Saul?
Saul is the husband.
Yes, yes.
Phela batho ba ne ba ratana ka rena.
Yes.
Batho ba ne ba ratana ka rena. Graaff ke di Graaff-Reinet ke mosadi ae.
Waban.
You have got Selbone and Lady Selbone.
Yes.
You have got Smith and Lady Smith.
Waban.
You have got Port Alfred and Port Elizabeth.
Lady Selbon, they were honoring
Mosadi wa Selbone.
a son.
They left Europe go to ratana ka rena mo South Africa. And we accept it. Yeah? We accept it.
Yes, yes.
We accept it.
So why do white people hate you so much?
Well,
Does it bother you?
it doesn't. Ne?
Yeah.
And I tell them,
Yes.
ne, in uncertain terms, that whether they like it or not, the name will change.
Yes.
And no court will ever find me guilty of changing the name. The court will rather say, I did not follow the correct process.
And you'll do procedural correctness.
They will tell me
And come
what
back.
was wrong with the process and I'll
You'll
change
fix
that,
it.
but the name will still change.
They hate that code.
Yes.
They hate that code when you tell them, even if they take you somewhere, they'll just show you that where in the process you add and
Exactly.
you fix it.
You fix it.
And then you still forge ahead.
Look. Ne?
Yeah.
I can tell you horror stories, and I'm unperturbed. Ne? I'm unperturbed. I mean, there was an occasion where a well-known Afrikaner group went to the minister and told the minister of what the nonsense I was and so forth and so on. And the minister said to them, oh, you mean that one? No, if you wait a bit, he will arrive now. He's coming here to see me.
Yes.
They left the minister's office and he called me.
Yes.
Hey man, what did you do to these guys? I told them you were coming, they all left.
Yeah.
No? Because one thing that I've realized is that when you arrive, they test you. They test you intellectually. Ne? And if they can find you wanting, according to them, intellectually, they'll mess you up. Now, that's why I never allowed them.
So in closing, I want to say this.
Yeah.
There are lots of names, including, what is this? Oliven, the white people will show it as an example. Stank Vater, they will show it as an example. Others are saying it's Kafirstad, Kafis River, Kafirskral, Kafirsfontein Dam, blah, 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 blah. And they say which the process of doing the process would have shown here. They say, why don't you go and target those names and leave their Graaff-Reinet alone?
Okay.
Yeah, please explain why don't you just randomly go around and change names? Before you come in, some guy was showing me a place in Brakpan Opinoni, and I found a place called on GPS, a place called Fairwood, and I know there's a Fairwood Drive in Centurion. And people just think, why don't you just go around and changing names? Please explain why is that?
It pains me.
Yes.
When I hear about such names.
Yes.
But I'm governed by an act of parliament. South African Geographical Names Council Act 118 of 1998. Now, according to that act, no name will change unless we receive an application form.
True.
For the name change.
True.
Because we don't change names.
Yes.
We consider application forms. I sometimes wish we could have powers to change names.
Yeah, you could just go around, change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always say this, there are low-hanging fruit. These are wrongly spelled names. Offensive, vulgar.
Musina, Messina.
Yes.
Yes.
Those who could
Umtata.
you see, who could do in a soup.
Yes.
But even more difficult for me is when I receive an application form saying change Devil's Screw Off
To Mahoba.
to Mujaji's Screw Off. I say, but why do you still have Screw Off? Recently we considered an application to change Mahuba, wrongly spelled Mahuba, Mahuba's Screw Off Dam to Mahuba's Screw Dam. I said, that's not how we name.
Yes.
Why not Mahuba Dam?
Yes.
You can't have a feature in only two features. It can't be a kloof and a dam.
Yes.
No, it's either a dam or a kloof.
Yes.
And it's not Mahubas, because if you say Mahubas, kia Mahuba, umufa yona. Mara mola ka Mahuba. Full stop. They wanted to change Beresford to King Tulare City. But guys, first, little king. Wale sare khoshi Tulare. City nyakan. Because more kare city rira barke.
We are anglicizing things.
No, even I received an application Kronstadt.
Yes.
To Mkhaka. Now, if you know what Mkhaka is, in Afrikaans has a kroon.
What is that?
It's a crown.
Oh, Mkhaka.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it means when you have a problem with Africans. No, I don't have a problem with Africans.
Yeah. You just need correct.
Yes. So you can't say Qolora Qholorha. We're dealing with translations here.
Yes.
No. We rejected that application. Yeah.
What is the most, have you ever had an applications, it went and it got protected until it's lost or anything, that it fell through?
No, not really. In fact, we have had applications which went through, which according to me, were not supposed to.
Okay.
No? There's a place right here in Gauteng. We ended up not knowing is that name Setswana or Sefenda. So we found ourselves having to consider an application to change a place name to another name, and having to consider another application to change that name. No?
Yes.
The place is called Lufaren.
Lufaren.
Yeah. We are not sure it's Lufaren or Lefaren.
Yeah.
So we are caught in that thing. No? So you have got such a we had an application which simply got stuck somewhere.
Okay.
And the good one is Pretoria Tsutswana.
Yeah. So white people, because of the battle that happened there, they called it Mafikeng.
Yes.
And Batswana ba re ke Mafikeng.
Yes.
Baboa ba re ba kgopela Mahike.
Mahike.
Yeah, Mahike or ebe Mahike.
Yes.
And do you know any history around that?
Well, it's a place where there was a fort. Idutywa
Mafika. Yes.
Yeah.
And there were battles there.
There were battles.
Yes.
Almost the only registered battle of the Batswana and the Puas in that area. But guess what? Not very far from Mahike, you have got a place called Groot Mariko.
Groot Mariko.
Yeah.
Yes, Groot Mariko.
What is Mariko?
No idea.
It's Madikwe.
Oh.
Ne? And what is Madikwe? Madikwe is a combination of two words. Nkwe le Madi.
Okay.
There was a battle there, and a lot of Patubamola died in a river, and it turned red. Kiba kwena, I mean bana nkwe. So kemadi adi nkwe, kemadi kwe, and it became Mariko. We don't care. Mariko.
So if those people don't stand up and come to correct their own history,
nothing will help them. Nothing will help them. Nothing will help them.
Palaburwa, they themselves, I want you to tell me, where do you guys enter? They changed the municipality to Palabura municipality. Were you involved because it was a change of municipality?
No, municipalities were not involved.
The council can do it?
Can do that, okay. Because it's a different act of parliament.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But they were correct. Ke ba phala borwa, ba utswa borwa. It's not Palaburwa. No? You've got Tabazimbi. What is Tabazimbi?
I was there, they said, di Tabachela, dinali cheap. I can't remember wa crew. Taba ya cheap.
Yeah, but what if Taba ya cheap is Zimbiking? Zimbiking. There's no word such as Zimbi.
Yeah.
Huh?
And then,
Zimbi King.
when I asked, when I was in that town,
No, that's what they want it to be.
yeah,
But the spelling says, Auna Zimbi.
yeah,
In Zimbi. It's called, there's no Z.
yeah,
If you want to combine the two words, Taba, let's say Zulu. Ere Taba Nzimbi. It's called Taba Zimbi.
yeah.
Zimbi King. It exists
It's
in
a
no.
bad thing.
Zimbi mhlambe, yeah. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's very interesting, and I hear even from what you are saying, the terminology of how things change. You talk of they are mining chrome.
Yes.
Ne? When I grew up, that was iron ore.
Yeah.
That metal,
Yes.
which is today chrome, is iron ore. It has always been mined from that area to Ciskei here.
In fact, even Bapalaburwa,
Yeah.
they had it.
Yes.
Yeah, just next to Palaburwa, there's a.
Kiba rula tshipi.
Yes, because inside Kruger National Park, there's a mountain called Masurini.
Yeah.
Bapalaburwa never mine cheap in that place in around 1200 something.
Now, if I can tell you how easy it is to apply for a name change and sit down, just to fill in a form and sit down and do nothing, and monitor where your application is.
So let me ask this. So let's say a mere machinery applies to say there's a place in Pretoria called the Orchard. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah.
That place, they say the Orchard, someone says, no man salwadula hoshi Chikuwa.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
And then Makua but the orchards because of Barba and the farm.
Qolora Qholorha.
Yes.
Or no, this place has Qolora Qholorha.
Yeah.
Kigaradi.
Yeah. And then someone does the really run through the process, lead the public consultations. No. You are not supposed to.
No, Popia does not allow us.
Okay. Because the person can be
Yeah,
targeted and
yes,
then withdraw.
Promotion of Personal Information Act. That's why Graaff-Reinet, I did not tell them Morkemau or apply late. Until at some stage I don't know what forced him to disclose or I applied. The whole week would go to
It's been a long one. It's been a long one.
So,
I want to give yes.
But then just one.
Yes.
People can find the application form
Yes.
on our website.
Okay.
South African Geographical Names.
Cancel.
No. So this one is system is SAGNS.
Okay.
You fill up that form, is simple. Online,
Yes.
you sit the back
You do it at home. You just fold your arms and look.
and you monitor it like I.
Yes.
That process should take 4 months. It's a done deal.
So how many are you currently sitting with?
The last count, was sitting with 24.
24.
Yeah, which are almost ready for gazetting by the minister,
So, la verega mos.
including Lady Smith. Yes.
What is it going for?
Umnambiti.
Mnambit. Once man, kining.
Yeah.
Kining.
But you'll be shocked. You know, we Africans who have got a way of doing things. A person stays at Driehoek. He brings in an application to change the name Driehoek to Emma Wukwin.
Have you not received anything to do with MLO?
No.
So MLO, they call it Mlomo. Mlomo. So,
And you might find it's an adulteration of ML.
yeah, so when I ask people from there, they say, no, but what does it mean? Like, where does it come from? But So I could not figure it out.
We rejected an application to rename East London to Emonti.
Emonti.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Emonti, there's a river there. The name of the river is Mond. Mulomo. So what's a Monde la bar Emonti? Kera. Amalona Napila. So they came up with another name, I just forgot.
Okay. Did they explain Qhubeka for you?
Qhubeka?
Yeah.
It's actually the name of it's a Khoisan name.
Yes.
Of a river.
Yes.
That runs through the area.
Okay.
Yes.
Were they happy? Because when we check social media, even the people from Qhubeka, they did not want it.
Oh, you'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Go there now.
Now everywhere is Qhubeka.
Everyone. I was like saying to them, hey man, guys, you are being unfair to me.
What was returning?
You know, no, they've got another name. Harika, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harika.
Harika.
Yeah, it's the Khoisan name. They've got a new application. Because Tina Haudin Ting. I don't take such name. Like Graaff-Reinet Khafu. No, I'll
So I had Baburu Bare. It is just as a person is born here does not mean anything. I took offense of that. Please just explain.
No.
Please just explain the importance of the man.
No, they wanted to say certain things. Ne? Hey, Pela, hey, kya sokola.
Yeah.
They say you can't have Robert Sobukwe coming from Robert Sobukwe. No? And there's a street called Robert Sobukwe, there's a monument called Robert Sobukwe.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know this place. Last night, I wanted to have something to eat. I took a walk. And I got to a spa, not very far from where we are. And I realized it was Graaff-Reinet spa. And I bought something there to eat. When I went out, there was Graaff-Reinet barber shop, opposite Graaff-Reinet filling station. So it's fine if everything is called Graaff-Reinet, but it will be totally wrong if everything is called Robert Sobukwe. By the way, De Graaf, where did he come from? So it's fine for De Graaf to come from Graaff-Reinet, but not for Robert Sobukwe to come from Robert Sobukwe. And you must know I can be very cheeky if I want. I said, do you know something, people? I think the first Christian was Peter, not Jesus Christ.
The first Christian was?
The first Christian.
Yeah, the first Christian person.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Was St. Peter. and not Jesus.
Because Jesus never died
being a Christian.
He was a Jew.
Yes. So this thing of naming must be very careful. This man, if he's that important, why go to Nqamakwe go Netherlands kwa? Basa name ka ena le mosadi wa gagwe. Le tlo name ka bona.
Mpete Mpethu, it's been a long one. Thank you very much for giving us your time. It's been many years wanting to do this.
Look, all right. Are we on?
Yes, we're still on.
Oh, no.
I want you to close.
But the enclosure. I've had an opportunity to address the United Nations.
Okay.
I'm still a member of United Nations group of experts on naming. In fact, I need to finalize a position paper for the bulletin. And it was when I was at the United Nations that I realized how much of work is there for us. And I learned this from the Indonesians. The Indonesians would name even what resembles hills under sea.
The Marian Trench and stuff. No one has asked why is the Marian Trench the deepest place in the ocean. Why is it called the Mariana Trench?
They would name even those.
Yes. So Kafasera Hartepies Dam, Honalidi Plague, they named them.
Yes. Ne? And the names are so long that tongue twisters. Ne? But that's their language. Whether you can pronounce it or not,
Yes.
as Tababona.
So they won't say, no, we can't call you Mutaboga because white people can't,
Yeah.
will struggle with that.
Yeah. But now you go to Khabalazan, you get a tavern called London or Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, you won't get a tavern called Khabalazan. They don't have that time.
Yes.
So until such time that there's a people,
Yes.
we really are proud of ourselves. Ne? We still have got a long way to go. Still have got a long way to go. There was a place called Sambok.
Even.
As you turn from Pretoria North
Yeah.
onto the Rasulun Road,
Yes.
the place on the left, that's where the initial inhabitants of the people of Qholora come from.
Sambok.
Nobody like Sambok. Ne? Qholora Qholorha 1964.
Maloba mo.
Yes. I'm older than Qholora Qholorha.
Yes.
Ne? But, Rena, we fail even on the small things. If I tell you, Qholorha, you know what I'm talking about?
Kolta.
Yes.
No.
Qholorha, Komapapan.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, more the old man or Tadube had a garage.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Lona makes it take so full of Qholorha.
Yes, yeah, Qholorha.
No? You've got a police station called Dube as you go down in Winterfell, deep in Winterfell. But no one ever asked himself what is the relationship between this Walter Dube and the Dube police station. Eh? So in the process, the history of Mabopan is gone.
What is Bogonog to go Mabopan?
Bogonote, that's not even the only Bogonote in South Africa.
A lot of them. Even in Pretoria West, there's a street called Bogonog.
Yeah, because Bogonote is the name of a tree.
Oh.
Ne? I got very angry with one name, in fact two. One is in Northern Cape called Hallfontein.
Hallfontein.
Hall.
Hall, yeah?
Yeah. Weet je wat is a hall?
No.
In Afrikaans, one way of, like if they say just not a poop hall, just a hall but poop. Ne?
Yeah.
You know what is to poop, ne?
Yes.
Fat, you are an asshole,
Ish.
so to speak.
Yeah.
So hall is a hole.
This one.
But now when you say hall and hat, ne? So now when I go to East London, I'm targeting a place called Bushman's Hat. Or you can have a place called Bushman's Hat. First, I think Bushman is derogatory, Hat is derogatory. And this man stands up in a meeting. Jehanon's a hat loss. On says Bushman. I realized there are people in South Africa who call themselves Bushman. And that hat, as a hat, Kimushimawa na ola, it has got potholes. They want it to be called Bushman's hat.
They want it that way.
Yes. So what do?
You let it go.
You give them what they want. Now, Rena, we have got names. I always say there was once a government which built an area. And then they decided, what are we going to call these areas? They sat in a meeting for 3 months. When they came back, they said block A, B, C, D, E. And they went back for another 3 months to decide on what to call the others.
Yeah.
They called E, F, G, H, I. But for some reason they jumped I and J. And then they went K, L, M. And that's what we have today, social government. What type of naming is that?
No, get VV, get WW. Okay, a short one, a very short answer that I want. And then Ratswal.
Yeah.
What were the topics that were discussed in CODESA? 1 or 2?
The topics?
Yeah, what were they discussing?
You know, one was the Constitution.
Okay.
That was number 1. 2 was the boundaries of what constitutes South Africa.
Okay.
Because there was a possibility of including Lesotho and Botswana and Swaziland.
Okay.
In fact, one of the very first people who the ANC wanted to send to Parliament, they realized when they wanted to send him to Parliament, he was not a South African.
No, to VITV.
James Mutladzi, the president of NUM.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's from Lesotho.
And then they didn't want.
Yes. And
he didn't have citizenship at the time.
Yeah, guy.
Yeah, South Africa.
No.
Okay.
And he wanted Lesotho to form part of South Africa.
That would have been great, Mos. Was it bad?
We didn't understand what it needed.
Okay.
You needed to be a sovereign power.
Yeah.
To go and discuss with a sovereign power, and South Africa was not a sovereign power there. But one of the things is the so-called sunset clause. Ne?
Kennedy Kilega Joslov.
Yeah, the document, the name of the document is called Strategic Perspective. It was written by Joe Slovo.
Okay.
Yes. I remember I was sent to go and explain it to students come at TNT. Babatli bang Qholora Qholorha.
Yeah.
When they were still students there.
Yes.
Ne? But what we did not discuss was the structure, ne, of the state. You see, the defense force negotiated separately.
Then Act 106 wasn't making the structure?
No.
Was it also not in CODESA?
No. Not even the Constitution.
Yeah.
The Constituent Assembly discussed the Constitution.
Oh, okay.
Ne?
Of course, way after CODESA 96, right?
Way after CODESA 1 and 2. Ne? Local government was not discussed in CODESA. It was discussed after 1994.
Let's agree to do this. Let's agree to close it. Whenever we are likely to come back, let's discuss it further.
Yeah.
To discuss CODESA.
Yeah. I was fortunate to be part of the negotiating team.
Yeah.
Yeah, local government.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I realized already.
There's a storm coming. I think it's time to close. I think it's time to close before the storm disturbs us. Thank you very much.
No, thanks, man.